Hello, my name is Zach Rye with Old Man Gaming. Don't adjust your sets. Don't change the channel. That is right. I am in the Game Master position up here at the top of the screen. Some things have changed between Season 2 and Season 3. We're going to do this session, possibly another session, we're not sure. This is what we're going to call kind of the 2.5 session. This is not necessarily a hunt. This is some role-playing stuff to set up the next hunt, to get some backstory on all the characters, to kind of get some resolution after the loss of Preston, and to introduce a new character, because I didn't create this game alone. I created it with a buddy of mine. You guys know him. He is my partner in all things TTRPG when it comes to Old Man Gaming. He is WizardsRespite.com. He is Ash. Now he's down in the corner where Preston was, the unlucky corner, so try to stay away from Rex.
Corner.
He will be playing Richie McCoy today, but we'll introduce him in a second. This is Ordo Scriptorium. We are shooting this on behalf of Wizards Respite. You can check out all of that there. And what is this? This is a TTRPG done in the simple mod system, in which our characters take the role of authors, which are monster hunters who have been injected with the blood of 18th century authors who also hunted monsters and gained powers in order to hunt the things that hunt us. So before we get into it, let's introduce everybody. Starting at the top of what I'm seeing, we have Kayla playing Bonnie Carlton.
Hello.
We have Ash / Wizards Respite in that corner playing Richie McCoy.
Hello.
We have Corey playing Rex Johnson right next to him.
Everyone's favorite player killer.
And then finally, last but not least, we have Neil, a.k.a. Tiny Wizard, playing Elliot Craig.
Yola.
And it's nice that I'm Game Master because I can make sure that I say a Tiny Wizard again. So
anywhere you can find it.
Yes.
Turtle power.
Right? I'm getting text. There's a change jobs. See on
No one comes here for quality.
No, it's good. All right, so
I was about to say, are we doing a break thing? Because I have laundry that's almost done. I got to throw in the dryer.
I've had laundry that's done that I need to hang. We lost power at my house today, so that was fun. For like 4 hours, like not even a small amount of time, with a 9-year-old. So yeah, happy to do adult things for a change. So to recap where we were in the story, we had just finished the second hunt. Our good friend Preston Howlett had been killed. Rex, his friend, had put him down in a gamble to defeat the demon car, the spider Porsche. Did not work. The only thing it served to do was kill Preston. However, the ensuing battle did seem to destroy the car. Elliot, Rex, and Bonnie all attended the funeral a week later. And Elliot was planning on going his separate way, going back to just working on cars and being a car guy. So yeah, that's where we are, but we're going to rewind things a little bit. We're going to go to basically, because the funeral happens about a week after, so we're going to rewind to kind of like the day after the actual last hunt, when Preston's body's being shipped and everybody's gone back to New York, back to their home base. Elliot, you have already bid goodbye to Charles Wheat, who has wished you all the luck in never having to do this again, but he seemed to have kind of some sort of sarcastic tone to him. You, being thick, just were like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, and went off to do your car thing. And everybody else has gone off to do some R&R. Except for Richie McCoy. Who is Richie McCoy? Well, we remember Richie McCoy from the last episode. Richie McCoy was the chauffeur that was driving them around L.A. He's been hired by the Preston Howlett family and has been their chauffeur for many years, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so
He's a younger guy, but he's been working for them for a few years now.
all right, so you head back to New York as well, back to the family, accompanying Preston Howlett. And as usual, we already put in canon that Charles Wheat kind of made it so that Preston's death was not suspicious, or at least less suspicious than it should be. But in a lot of ways, you knowing what you know from being around the family as much as you have been, you know that they kind of wanted him out of the way anyway. So regardless of what their feelings are, Preston Howlett will no longer sully the family name, and thus they're not going to argue with any narrative that's put forth in front of them that does not bring ill light on them, so to speak. But nonetheless, you return to the Howlett family estate and to your meager kind of, I think they call it like a driver's apartment above the garages, the big garages, where you stay. In your brain, you haven't slept since the incident. In your brain, all you can keep thinking about, all you can keep remembering is the words of Preston Howlett. The words where he gave you the card of Charles Wheat. And he said, tomorrow, your brain will decide that this was all just some weird prank. You will write off anything weird that you saw, and you will be fine and better off. But in case you don't, you should call this man. And he gave you the card. And that card has burned a hole in your pocket as you had walked in to the garage and up the stairs. Like, even flying home, you are afraid to put your hand in that pocket because the card almost feels like it's going to sting you. Like, that's kind of the feeling. Like, you're almost repulsed by it, but at the same time, you can't get rid of it. Not to mention the fact you're really hoping that you don't need it. You're really hoping that he was right, and you forget everything you saw because there are still things you just cannot explain inside your brain. Nonetheless, you go to bed. You wake up in the middle of the night, probably like 3 or 4 a.m., in a cold sweat. You haven't forgotten anything. You wish you had, but you hadn't. There is something wrong with the world around you that you cannot unsee. Ghosts, monsters, women who disappear in poofs of flame. You can't unsee the things that you have seen the night before when Preston did not come back from it. And that is when you hear a voice from the corner of your room. A woman's voice. Well, good morning. Now, just so you know, it is like 3:30 a.m. You're probably just in pants at this point. It's raining outside. There's lightning going off. And when the lightning goes off, it kind of illuminates her for a second. She is an incredibly attractive woman, but looks to be probably older than she looks. She has silverish gray hair that's kind of layered down towards her chin and pointing forward, and she has blue piercing eyes that seem to not blink in any way, shape, or form. She is in a blue kind of business, kind of like business skirt, like with the suit coat top, and then the skirt that comes down to about the knees. And she is sitting in the chair with her legs crossed, staring at you.
Well, that's definitely going to scare the crap out of this guy.
It should.
I'm going to go ahead and force myself to do like a endurance resolve just to see how much he can like handle this. I know what he would do if he passes, and I know what he would do if he failed.
Go for it. I would assign a difficulty of 10 to this because
okay,
this is a very scary moment for him. He's going through some changes.
With a difficulty of 10, he still got it. So he's going to look at her. He's going to jump out of his skin and then take a deep breath, and start to move towards his bed where he knows he's got a combat knife.
What does Mr. McCoy look like, by the way?
He's in his early 20s, maybe mid 20s at most. Healthy young man. Pretty much straight edged haircut, very 1950s clean cut look, as you would have to be a chauffeur for an estate like the Howletts. He normally dresses really well in that regard, but otherwise he has green eyes, and he's fairly got that more of a lean sort of look to him, harder edge to him, as opposed to like a bodybuilder. He's more of got a runner's build.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna start edging over towards his bed, and he's gonna say, "How did you get in here?"
I have my ways. And let's face it, if you needed that knife, I would have taken away from you.
He's gonna stop, turn straight to her, and sort of fold his arms. What is this all about here? What you doing in my room?
I'm here because you're a herald, and I need to make sure you become an author. But I need to make sure you become an author before certain other people do. You saw some things very recently, some things that you can't get out of your brain no matter how hard you try. There's something creative about you, too. I haven't figured that out yet. I didn't really have time to do a background check. When you're in my line of work, I have to get to the people as fast as possible. I'm competing with many different sides when it comes to things like this. Nonetheless, I know you are, and for whatever reason, that creativity has allowed you to see beyond the veil of what this world really is. You can see the creatures that hunt and stalk and murder and feed on us. And you are now chosen to fight those creatures. You're the white blood cell for all of those nasty little things that go bump in the night.
He's going to be in shock at hearing all this for a moment. He's going to stammer a bit, sort of look down at his shoes, and says,
Give me a quick endurance check.
17.
Okay.
18.
There's something about this that rings ridiculously true, even though it shouldn't be. You can't help but think about what Preston said to you and about the card that was in your pocket. There's something about this, some weight to this, that is just real true and heavy.
Were you friends with Preston Howlett?
No.
Did you know him?
No. I would not call him my friend. I was aware of him. I'm aware of many of the people that you were around the other night. And even though Preston was not of my ilk, it is always sad to lose an author. Nonetheless, I also know the owner of that card, and she points to your coat that's kind of hung over the closet doorknob, and she just points to the pocket, almost like she knows it's there already. She's like, I know the owner of that card, and I can assure you, he's not going to be the one to help you.
Preston seemed to think he was a good sort. Can help me figure these things out.
She takes a deep breath and then stands up. She's tall, athletic build. Like I said, she's probably in her 50s, but looks a lot younger. She just looks at you and goes, Preston. Preston liked to pretend he wasn't normal. Preston liked to pretend he was some sort of outsider or outcast, but at the end of the day, he was quite basic. Just another rich boy. Just another rich boy with his cocaine. He couldn't really think outside the lines. He wasn't one of mine. You, on the other hand, you could be one of mine.
Listen here, lady. I'd normally tell you to go take a hike off of the short end, take a long walk off the shore on a short pier. But I've seen things got kind of wild out there in California. Things got, and I don't mean in the fun kind of way. I mean in the crazy kind of way. And I think you're talking my language here.
I am most certainly speaking your language, Richie McCoy. But again, we're going to have to get going. Because there are other people looking for you. And if you want the true power that I can give you, the power that is truly needed to fight these things, you're going to have to come with me.
So we're like, you guys are all like soldiers or something?
Something like that. We're writers. We're writing the future of our species. Unfortunately, we have to write it in blood.
I think I can understand what you're saying.
So is he going to go with her?
Yeah, I think he is. He's been like kind of like chewing on this for too long and it's been screwing with his head.
Okay. All right, she leads you out. You walk down kind of the stairs. You pull on a shirt, I'm guessing, and maybe your coat.
Yeah.
Your chauffeur coat or whatever. The card still is in your pocket, like almost like you feel it when you put the jacket on. And there is something that feels a little bit off here. Like you're caught between something that you don't quite understand. But again, this is the only thing that has given you a chance to figure things out. So, got to follow the lead, right? You head downstairs, and one of the cars that you usually drive for the Howlets. Well, no, there's another car outside the estate, kind of at the road, which is just a nice older car. Like, I mean, it would be a classic for the 1950s. So you're talking like a really old car, like a limo style of version of that. You see this huge guy standing there next to the car. He has just this massive beard with kind of like braids through it, bald head, and like what seems to be kind of like tattoos over his bald head. And he's very muscle bound. He's wearing like a biker's vest. He's got tattoos down his arm, and then just like kind of like torn up jeans. And he would, if you saw this guy in the street, you would think he was either a criminal or a homeless man. And he's standing there kind of leaning on the car, waiting. And then he kind of stands up and he speaks in a completely different language to her. Do you have linguistics at all?
I don't.
Okay. He speaks a completely different language to you. You know what? Give me a difficulty 20 intelligence check. You won't be able to understand the language, but I want to see if you have an idea of like anything about it.
I got a 9.
Okay, you don't have any idea where this language came from, but he speaks like another language to her. She speaks it back, which seems very foreign coming from her. Just like with how like her elocution in both languages, it's weird how well she does with both of them. And then he turns towards you and goes, "All right. Sounds good to me. Welcome aboard, McCoy. Nice to see a kindred spirit." And then he opens the door for you and the lady. She gets in.
Can I do an awareness check of this guy? A perception awareness to kind of get a sense of like, demeanor. Like, does he look like he's going to like he's got like a sinister likeness directed towards me at all?
Okay, give me a roll. We're gonna say difficulty 10.
I got a 18.
Take a momentum. He is overtly sinister and just like has a presence of violence that equals and potentially dwarfs the mechanic that Preston was traveling around with. That being said, he does not seem to have anything towards you in any way, shape, or form. He just exudes a man who enjoys hurting things.
Okay. I'm gonna get in.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna like keep my hand on my knife, which I'm assuming I would have picked up my gear at least.
Sure. She wouldn't even bat an eye.
Situation.
She wouldn't even bat an eye with you taking weapons. She has no problems with it. She trusts you. She knows that you want to see the end of this. So.
Yeah, I'm feeling very much like Neo in the first Matrix, getting exposed to all of this right now. Just like, what the?
All right, we switch off to Elliot. Elliot, I wish I had musical talent in any way, shape, or form, because I would accompany this scene with it, but I don't. So I'm going to have to do the best with describing this. Elliot, you return to your car auto body shop. You also have Jimmy Pizza, who is your assistant. He helps you work on the cars, and he also answers the phone for you. He's your only employee. And you have your apartment above the shop. And for that moment, life is beautiful. Even though it's the day after you lost somebody. Preston wasn't that important to Elliot, but at the same time, you guys fought together, so it's weird. You probably have some emotions about it. Nonetheless, the fact when you walk into your auto body shop, all of that weight is just lifted. Fuck the monsters. Fuck the end of the world. I'm just going to work on cars and everything's going to be fine. You go to sleep. You get a good 8 hours. You wake up. You come down. You're going to work on Mrs. Tenemans. I do not know brands from back then, so we're going to go Mrs. Tenemans Mercury. And you just, you get your wrench and you start wheeling on one of the lug nuts. Just start twisting on it. Then you hear Jimmy Pizza like, "Yo, boss, you got a phone in here. Just rang. Gotta pick that. They want to talk to you." And then you finish your day. It's a great day. You go to sleep. You get another 8 hours. You wake up. You start twisting that lug nut again, and it's great. Then Jimmy Pizza's like, "Hey, boss, you got a phone call?" "Yep, gotta go do that." And then you're asleep again. You get another 8 hours. You wake up. You're twisting the lug nut. And something slimy starts to feel like around your hand. And all of a sudden, you've only been probably doing this for like 2 days, maybe 3. But there is an unease that sets into your soul. And then on the third night, you can't sleep at all. There's no way to sleep. Almost like that it's out there. You know that it's getting worse. You know that there's a disease. And if you don't do something about it, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt everybody around you, and your auto body shop won't matter. And it doesn't matter that you don't want to care. You have to care. Like, it is terrible. You feel almost like you're not sure what addiction is, but it feels akin to that. Like, you cannot stop thinking about like hunting creatures, monsters. Yet again, another day, you're twisting the lug nut. It's twisting. You feel the tentacle wrapping around your hand. "Yo, boss, you got a phone call." Give me a resolve endurance roll.
That usually winds up being one of my better ones.
Yeah, it is.
I love the description of it being a tentacle. That's so appropriate for him.
It has to be a tentacle because it's Lovecraft.
21.
I'm telling you, like when we agreed for me to be a game master, is why I wanted to do this right away, because I'm like, I have so much stuff in my head that if I don't get it out, I'm gonna forget it and I'm gonna lose all of it, and we gotta get it out. What'd you roll?
21.
Okay, all right. When Joey Pizza says to you for what feels like the 4,000th time, yo boss, you got a phone call, you literally want to just crush his head like a pineapple. And for a half second, just a half second, you don't act on it, you don't get angry, you don't get visibly angry, you just stand up and look at him. And then he just looks back, he's like, oh, boss, who take a shit in your coffee? Just got a phone call, jeez.
So I guess I would answer the phone. I don't know.
Hello, Mr. Craig. It is Charles Wheatley.
Yeah, you need to call in like a favor or something, and need a repair, something like that.
It is unfortunate. I have a situation. Look, I know you wish to be left alone, and as I said, I truly hope that's going well for you, but you're the only person I have to call right now.
It's gonna be about the weird shit, ain't it?
I don't believe that this is the full weird shit, as you say, but it is something that needs to happen. A herald has become known to me, but it has also become apparent to me through some of my network that someone of disreputable influence has potentially gotten to them first. I have to act on this. You are the closest person who is picking up their phone.
Yeah, I would be the last one. Okay, so am I just grabbing this person and that's it, like an in and out situation?
No, I must make contact myself. I am the editor. I must get in touch with him and bring him into the fold. But, like I said, there are disreputable influences, and I need help with those. I don't know what I'm going into, and I do believe... Do you still feel the presence of your author within your blood?
I feel like he's like immediately gonna say, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like almost like trying to think that this was like a dream. But like I would feel like day after day, and if we're being completely honest, from how he was pretty much enjoying himself doing everything, the wanton just destruction being a force, he goes to like rebut a little bit, and then just kind of gives in.
I'll add into that. Like, you go to say, no, I don't know what you're talking about, and when you do, you feel the tentacle kind of like wrap up your hand again, like up the hand towards your head, and you have to take the like telephone away from your head for a second and look at your arm to see that there's no tentacle there.
Even better.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I've really had a lot of good stuff. I want to play with you guys.
I think he would be a little shaken and just be like, I guess that's what this is. Yeah.
What this is. Are you experiencing difficulties, Mr. Craig?
Not mental ones, oddly enough, but it's actually almost physical.
I see.
Restrictions, movements.
Unfortunate. I will be coming around personally with a car. I can potentially explain your situation if you...
I was gonna say wait, just unfortunate, and we're gonna leave it at that. You don't want to maybe elaborate a little bit more now, because if it's so unfortunate, maybe I should probably know what's going on,
Mr. Craig,
so I can maybe be...
Mr. Craig, when you become a herald, it is a one-way trip. It is not a life you get to walk away from. When I said that to you, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't something like I was going to do something to you if you walked away. I said that to you because we can't physically walk away from it. We are the response, the call and response of the human race to the creatures that enter our world and try and destroy us. We can't unanswer that call. You can't unring the bell. The blood inside your body boils, and I have often heard that the urge to hunt and kill gets worse when one tries to retire.
Well, you know what? I think here's what we'll do. And you kind of hear him pull the phone away from himself and kind of yell, Jimmy, finish up the day. Shut her down. Paid vacation.
Not a paid vacation? God damn, I love working here.
Gets back on the phone and says, you know what? Actually, not for you, but for me. I guess I'll be back in. I'll be back in as long as it takes to stop this any way that I can. I'm either going to physically stop it or I'm going to die fucking trying. So one way or another, I'm done with this. So yeah, I'm back in. I'm back in as reluctantly as I possibly can be, but I'm here to finish.
All right, Mr. Craig. Not exactly the words I need to hear, but as much as I would like to dig into this and help you deal with it, we have pressing business, and you are the only person who can help me find the person we need to find. So hopefully, afterwards, you and I can discuss some things.
Yeah.
Either way,
yeah.
I'm on my way. He hangs up the phone, and as you hang up the phone, Jimmy comes in and goes, "Hey, yo, boss, you want to go get some Chinese food or something before you go on your paid vacation or whatever? Maybe some Italian?"
You know what?
As long as it's not pizza.
What?
I
Yeah.
hate fucking pizza.
You know what? Yeah. Let's go get something. I don't care what it is. Let's just go get something.
There's a place across the street's got the best damn egg rolls this side of Manhattan. Let's do this. And then you guys go to get Chinese food. Rex, you wake up as well with a knock at your door. You're confused because Anne should be knocking at your door, but you realize that you were so tired after the all-night flight or whatever, you ended up walking into your office, which is below your apartment, and just literally fell asleep at your desk. And it is morning. It's probably like 7:30 in the morning, and you are getting a knock at your front desk, and your secretary isn't even out. Not at your front desk, at your front door. Your secretary isn't even in yet.
Guess I'd open the door.
You see a businessman there. He has black hair with a streak of white on his left side, like on his left part. He's in kind of like he's in a black business suit, pinstripe all the way down. He's very well dressed, broad shoulders, slightly taller than you, and has a briefcase on his side. And he's like, oh. You see him kind of like, he smiles that he sees you, then he recoils slightly, and you can tell it's the smell. He just goes, "Oh, Mr. Johnson, I presume? I apologize, I caught you at a bad time."
Yeah, we're not taking business right now, and I go to close the door in his face.
He puts the briefcase in between the door and the thing. He's like, "I'm sorry, sir, but this is not business you're going to want to turn down."
Sure, come on in then.
Opens up. He's like, it is about a friend of yours, or unfortunately a ex-friend of yours. Mr.
ex-friend?
Preston Thaddeus Howlett.
All right, yeah, business that I want to turn down. Come on in. You come to my office.
He comes in. He shuts the door. He follows you in the office. He goes, I can tell that you haven't had a chance since you got in with the terrible occurrences with Master Howlett, but this isn't something that can wait. He puts the briefcase down, pops it open, pulls out a folder, puts the folder down in front of your desk, pulls out a letter, puts it in front of you. The letter just says Rex on the front in handwriting. No stamp or anything.
You just want me to read this while you're here, or is this kind of like a wait till you leave situation?
I know what's inside it. I am Mr. Howlett's attorney.
He's suing me from the grave. I'm going to start to open it up.
He looks generally confused at you. He's like, "Excuse me? He's suing you? Did you and Mr. Howlett have some sort of issue with each other?"
No, we were in fact great friends and sung songs throughout the streets. And I'm going to start to read the letter.
The letter, which I was going to write today, but today got way fucking away from me as a game master. The basic long and the short of it is that Preston has decided to have his lawyer put you in charge of basically, you are the executor of his will, the executor of his estate. He is basically hiring you to make sure that you are on the up and up again. That not you, that all of his family is on the up and up again. Nobody's taking anything from him, and that anything that he has squirreled away goes to the places that he wants it to go to. And he says that in the folder is an itemized list of all of the assets that he has squirreled away, and that he wants you to make sure go to where they go. Because you are one of his only friends, and he knows that that you will take care of this.
Yep.
Then he also says, Preston Howlett, sincerely Preston Howlett, and then P.S., he gives you a detailed description of where he hid all of his cocaine, and that you are in charge of getting the cocaine and hiding the cocaine.
This is like the best thing ever. We get cool, mysterious shit to move through, like the next goings of things, and you get a checklist because you get them.
Okay, he just got his friend's 1950s version of clear my browser history so my mom doesn't see it.
I want you to give me an endurance resolve check.
To resist the cocaine.
It's not that. The man you killed just made you the executor of his will.
That is a 16.
Okay, all right. No momentum, but you pass. Nonetheless, there is definitely a feeling in your heart here. You're the one who shot this guy. He was your friend. Like, you're getting away with, I mean, in a way, murder, and you're also his executor. Some of this hurts a plan
to put a hurting on my scotch anyways, so. After reading the letter, I want to look up at the lawyer and be like, shouldn't this be your job?
It's like,
I don't exactly handle these kind of things.
Yes. Well, the thing is as a lawyer, I am to help facilitate those things, but I am also employed by Mistress Howlett. Preston took these extremes to make sure that an outside party that had no conflict of interest, shall we say, with such things. He kind of goes through his very unique hair with his hand. And then he just kind of looks at you again, and he goes, I have to ask, as I have never heard your name, and I've spoken to Preston on many occasions. Many occasions I have had to hide certain improprieties of the young master, but I have never heard the name Rex Johnson before. For him to write you a hand letter and this file is... Look, I am not questioning your honor, but you need to know that the Howletts will when you go to question them on certain things. How do you know Preston Howlett?
You know, Preston was a mysterious character. I'm sure he kept secrets from every one of us, and we only know what we know. And in his mysteriousness, I think he would like it if I kept our friendship a secret. on how that came to be.
It's like, well, my name is Marcus Cale, attorney. And then he pulls out a card, hands it to you. There's a phone number on it. He goes, call me if you have any questions or wish any access to any of the Howlets for your various dealings, and I will facilitate them.
All right. Rex Johnson, PI. And I hand him my card.
He takes it, puts it
If you need anyone,
inside breast coat pocket.
Cheating or screwing somebody else, just ring me up.
Of course. We're always in the need of good investigators. Prove yourself here, and I am sure we will find work for you in the future. Mr. Johnson, there's one other thing I would love it if you would look into for me.
You all right?
The manner of his death is somewhat suspicious. And while the Howlets are keen on allowing the narrative in the press to go unanswered, I cannot help, as a personal failing of myself, but wonder what happened to the young master. Mr. Howlett was by no means perfect, but he was always generous and kind to me, and I would personally pay you. I would personally pay you double whatever Howlett is already paying you, to give me answers as to who or what actually killed him.
What is the official reason that was stated for his death?
The official narrative is that he got drunk and he accidentally shot himself.
All right. Well,
he was cleaning his gun. That's the narrative.
What I can tell you is it wasn't accidental. Got in with the wrong people. As we all know, he liked to party a little too hard. I don't know any names. I just know it was in Los Angeles.
Now he narrows his eyes at you.
Rough characters.
You know, so you say that you know it wasn't accidental, but you don't know any names? You didn't have anything to do with his death, did you?
No. All I know was last time I saw him, he was talking about going some kind of dealer's place.
Was he with you when you died? When he died?
No. No, I'm not into that kind of thing. I got a daughter to take care for.
All right. Well, like I said, if you could deliver me any more answers than that, I would appreciate it. Until then, good luck to you.
Thank you very much. I feel like I'm going to need it dealing with this family.
You will. He turns and walks out. Bonnie, your turn. You return to your... you come back, fly in, just as tired as everybody else. Return to your apartment. If that's where you would go first, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay, you go to your apartment and you get some sleep. Do you do anything while you're... Like, do you want to do anything right away? Anything at all?
So I think the very first thing Bonnie does is actually get a small frame for the poem that Preston wrote for her and gets it framed to keep on her desk.
Preston! That's really nice. All right, you go out to get the frame the next morning, just kind of going down to the corner store. Give me an awareness perception check, difficulty 10.
Okay.
And I just want you to
24.
Wow, take a momentum. And I just want you to know that this thread is because of Wizard. So you are headed towards the corner store, and you're never a person that ever picked up on this stuff before. But after 2 hunts and all of this insane crap, you feel like you're being followed. You've looked back a couple of times. It's early morning, so there's a good amount of people out on the street. But you see like an average-sized guy in a black jacket, collar popped, with a cabbie hat real low over his face. You can't see it. and he's made the same turns you have, like probably 3 or 4 times.
I don't like that.
I don't think you're supposed to.
Is this before or after she already went in the store?
This is before. So you just come to the corner store.
Okay. So I get inside, and I start just aimlessly wandering around aisles, trying to figure out what exactly this guy is trying to do, and if he's actually watching her, or if this is all a really bad coincidence.
Okay. You head into the corner store. Sure enough, this guy comes into that corner store a couple of minutes later. He doesn't seem to go down the aisles that you do. He kind of vanishes into the back of the store. It's a fairly good-sized kind of corner store where you find the frame. But yeah, you find the frame, and he doesn't seem to be anywhere at this point. You saw him come in, but after that, he kind of like disappeared into the aisles, unless you're actively going to search for him.
No. Bonnie goes up to the cash register and then asks the cashier if there's a restroom she could go to before she leaves.
She goes, yeah, sure. Yeah, we got a restroom. We got for paying customers. You paying?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy this frame. I just have a bit of a walk, so small bladder. Just need to go.
It's all right. I understand. You don't have to tell me more. Trust me. He gives you a key. Tells you it's kind of like down the side of the counter and around the corner.
Okay, so she goes that way and is planning to just like hide in the bathroom for a couple minutes.
Okay.
And hope to God that guy's not there when she comes out.
Okay, how long is a couple minutes? Like, are you really just taking 2 minutes, or are you like gonna like
probably like 5 because she's still very anxious after everything from LA.
You take 5 minutes. You come back out. You don't see him anywhere.
Okay. So then Bonnie buys the frame and leaves. But she has her hand in her little side satchel as she's walking because she keeps that little pistol on her now.
She's had to shoot a lot of people. Well, a lot of creatures. You did shoot at Elliot, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
One of the many comments that's going to make people think that we scripted this came from Rex during that. Anybody who listens back to episode 5, it's fun. Especially after you know what happens. Okay, so you come back out of the corner store, you buy the frame, you don't see the guy, you start heading down the street back towards your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You head back towards your apartment, and sure enough, you get there, no problem, no guy, you head up to your apartment, you get in the apartment, and you're all alone there.
My door is locked.
Okay.
As soon as I got in, I locked that door.
Okay. You lock the door. You kind of walk away from the door for a second. Give me an awareness perception check.
Oh. 4.
Okay. You walk away from the door. You're good. Yay, door's locked. Everything's fine now. So you head over. You put the poem in the frame. You put it on your office table. What else are you doing?
I gather some books that I took from the library before I left and never returned. And they're like informational books on essentially like guns and ammo and gunsmithing.
Oh wow!
And start reading them.
Okay, all right. You start to work through these books when you hear a knock at your door after about a half an hour. Bop, bop, bop.
I go up to my door and look through the peephole.
You see nothing.
Oh, I hate that. I stand there for a second, and then my satchel is like on a little table next to the door.
Okay.
And I grab the pistol out of it and like slowly turn and go back to my books.
Okay.
But I have my pistol on me now.
Okay. All right. Nothing else happens for a few hours. You've got your pistol on you. You're reading your books. Nothing's happening.
Just the way I like it.
Okay. All right. Do you go through the rest of the day not doing, just reading?
I am not leaving this house, this apartment again. That's for sure.
All right. All right. I think I made a faux pas here. When you saw nothing from the people, I mean, you saw nothing. Like there was blackness there.
Oh, I thought you meant like there was just nobody there.
No, I meant that was my bad. Yeah, it's not nothing as in nobody there. I mean, you saw nothing. Like nothing.
Oh, that's worse.
Yes.
That's so much worse.
That is subjectively worse.
It took me a second to realize that I hadn't gotten that point across because I'm like, oh, she's just reading. I think I failed to convey this properly.
Yeah, I just assumed it was like an empty hallway.
No. It's
Maybe it ran out of batteries. I don't know.
Yeah, you unplugged your door. It happens all the time.
Okay, well, in that case, I hesitate and then I yell, "Who's there?"
Nobody's there. Nobody answers.
Oh, man.
We're in a horror game. I don't know what to tell you. Crank up the horror.
Okay, well, at that point, I'll grab the pistol and, like, slowly creak the door open. So, like, I can see with one eye without fully opening the door.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say that you were going to grab the pistol and shoot the door.
I'd fucking shoot the door.
That's a Rex move.
Yeah, I actually did that.
You open, you peek through. There doesn't seem to be anybody in the hallway. It's a dimly lit hallway because it's a crappy apartment, but there doesn't seem to be anybody in the hallway.
Okay, at that point, I'll open the door all the way to, like, because I figure there's something on the people that's making it so I can't look through.
That is
so
exactly
I can try to get
correct.
it off.
There is a note stuck to the door that's hanging over the people.
Oh, I grab it and read it.
It says, "Look behind you." No, I'm just kidding. It says Central Park midnight.
I am a woman, a young girl. You want me to go to Central Park at midnight?
That's all it says. I do want you to give me an awareness perception check, though. Because the handwriting is really familiar to you.
14.
Okay. The handwriting is weirdly familiar. You're not exactly sure where you would place it.
But I've seen it.
You've seen it before. You have a librarian brain that picks up on things, and you've seen this handwriting before. You're just not exactly sure where.
Great. Can't wait. I'm so excited for midnight.
Do you wait for midnight?
Yeah.
Do you go by yourself?
I don't really have anyone else besides my parents.
That's true.
I'm not dragging my parents into this. I'm gonna bring me and my pistol.
Okay. All right, you head to Central Park with you and your pistol. Central Park is a huge park. The note also had directions on where to go in Central Park. You go into Central Park and you kind of start to walk towards the place where you're going. And this, you could tell it clearly, rained, thunderstorm rained the night before. There's this mist that's just settled over the park, and it makes everything creepier. All you can keep thinking about in your head is whether or not Jack the Ripper was a stalker or not. That is all that just keeps going through your head.
Check out.
When you hear behind you, "Bonnie, is that you?" You recognize the voice.
I jump and turn around.
you see the face, the black jacket, the collar popped, guy who was probably following, but you see his face. His face is scarred down kind of the face. He's got all sorts of almost like knife marks, but he's still very recognizable. You went on a date with a man that you were very interested in. You had been talking to for a while. He had hit on you many times, and finally you guys had gone out on a date, and during that date, that is when you had noticed your powers, when you became an author, because you watched him get taken by some sort of stalker. That is Frankie, but this is Frankie. It's like, Bonnie, is that you?
Immediately, I'm pulling the pistol. Who are you?
Whoa! He puts his hands up. It's me. It's Frankie. You know
Frankie's
Frankie?
Dead.
Frankie's not dead. He's here. Frankie almost died. Maybe if Frankie's date had contacted somebody instead of just running away, Frankie might have had a better chance at things. But now Frankie's date is pointing a gun at Frankie, and I'm really going to stop talking to myself. Talking in the first person. It's me. It's Frankie. I survived the encounter. I need your help.
I know you're not just another monster. I saw that gun pointed.
It's like, well, how do I prove to you?
How did we meet?
Out of game. That was not in the backstory that I read.
Right.
So can I just make that up?
You could just mention something about the library.
All right. He was at the library. Remember? Was going to check out Great Gatsby. Couldn't find where it was. You helped me figure out the Dewey Decimal System. I'm stupid with numbers.
Slowly, I lower my gun. I watched you get killed. How? How are you here?
He takes the hat off, and you can see the face all cut to shreds. And he's like, I should have been killed, but I survived. Didn't quite get me. Didn't quite finish the job. But that's why I'm here. It knows it didn't finish the job. It's coming for me, and you're the only person I've heard that you're a person who can help me.
So what tried to kill you is after you again?
Mm-hmm. It wants to finish the job. But
go ahead.
I heard, I know this is crazy, but like once that thing hunted me and almost killed me and I survived, once I healed, I started finding out some stuff. I went into hiding and I started looking at stuff, occult stuff, talking to people. I heard about something. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Something called the Ordo Scriptorium. And then
the color just drains from my face.
One of my sources told me you're one of them. And I can't believe it, but you're the only one that I know that could be one of them. And I'm telling you, Bonnie, I need help. I can't take this thing on my own. I can't.
Can I do a perception check on him?
Sure. Definitely.
Okay. I just want to see if I'm getting weird vibes.
Okay.
Like if something's not right here.
Tell you what, I would have immediately pulled the trigger, no questions asked. It's y'all two in the park in the middle of the night. I'm sure you could play the innocent girl card.
I'm so happy you're mansplaining my character to me.
That's what I would have done.
Neil's canceled up in this bitch.
This would 100%, if I was in Bonnie's situation, been like a romantic movie. We would have been from horror to rom-com right away. That is so romantic. He came to find her.
You're forgetting that Bonnie is a 20-year-old girl, and this was her only boyfriend.
I find it very romantic.
Anyway, I only rolled a 5.
Neil's like, just kill everybody. Anybody suspicious, murder them.
It's a Wicker Park with monsters.
Oh my god. Okay, so, yeah, you, wait, what'd you roll? Sorry.
Only a 5.
Okay. Honest. I mean, he seems honest to you.
I look around, and then I go, okay, if something's after you, we can't just be out in the middle of the park in the middle of the night. This was the dumbest area you could have had us meet up in. We'll go back to my apartment, and I know someone we could talk to in the morning.
It's like, okay, all right. I mean, is this somebody you could trust? Because...
Yes.
I mean, look, nobody even knows I'm alive. I went into hiding. I went into secret because this thing scared me so much. And as far as this being dumb, he kind of grins at you and goes, I don't hunt these things for a living. I just try and live in a world with them.
Well, who was your source?
Look, if I told you, he'd get in trouble. I can't do that. Look, Bonnie, we were about to go on our first date when this happened. I like you a lot, but I didn't know you were a monster hunter. I certainly didn't know.
I wasn't.
You weren't?
Not until after I watched you get attacked.
Oh, well, that explains a lot. And then he kind of smiles. He's like, doing it for me? Kind of like covers his heart.
Well, if you watch someone get ripped to shreds, you wouldn't really have a choice either.
Hey, I know. I got ripped to shreds in front of me. And then he goes, okay, well, do we... Okay.
Let's get out of this park.
All right.
Now.
Let's get out of the park. And then he goes with you. We're going to cut off to Wiz. Wiz! You're in the car. Headed down like a winding Westchester Street. You're now into the woods of northern New York State, kind of looking for some sort of weird location. You're not exactly sure, with this Viking monster driving you guys in what seems to be an ancient like Rolls Royce limo, basically, and she's just sitting there. You can ask your questions.
Well, first, ma'am, what do I call you?
Chastain.
Chastain?
Yes. I'm an editor.
So, what exactly does an editor do, and what does this have to do with all that spooky stuff Preston's all wound up in? All wound up in.
She was about to correct you. Well, there's an order. It is older than any of us can tell because we don't like to write about it, surprisingly enough, called the Ordo Scriptorium. What I can tell you about it is that we are an order of creative-minded individuals, that once we have had some sort of interaction with what we call behind the curtain, creatures, monsters, stalkers, as we refer to them, we can't unsee them. And we also can't explain them away. Your average person just explains away crazy things all the time. Trick of the light, trick of the clouds, weird weather. The more creative-minded don't. Once we see it, we can't unsee it. So we have developed ways to stalk and kill the stalkers.
I saw in LA a woman in flames suddenly vanish and reappear and disappear. Saw a car driving itself. I saw all kinds of things that shouldn't be possible. A stick of dynamite thrown through the air on its own. I'm guessing this is fitting the bill for some of this crazy stuff that folk aren't supposed to remember.
That is correct, Mr. McCoy. You are what we call a herald. Somebody who has seen, cannot unsee, and does not explain away. You have the potential to be an author. I wish to make you one.
So this author thing is kind of like a gig, a job?
No, it's more than a gig. It's more than a job. It is the protection of all mankind from things that hunt them. You'll also find something else, Mr. McCoy, that once you have seen these things and cannot unsee them, you will need to hunt them. But if you hunt them in your current... Sorry, go ahead.
What do you mean, need?
You will need to. It'll be in the back of your mind. Everywhere you go, every time you take a piece of food, every time you take a girl on a date, every time you go see a movie, it'll be back in the back of your head that there are things like that out there killing us. And the only way you'll be able to silence those voices is by killing them.
Richie's gonna lean back and think about the last few days of this card burning a hole in his pocket and how he can't get any of the images of what he had seen in LA out of his mind. And he's gonna, so it's just gonna click for him. You're like, yeah, okay, I kind of get what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna turn and say, and so being an author kind of helps me deal with the crazy out there, helps me stop some of this madness. Is that what you're saying? I won't have this burning feeling like there's a ghost or a phantom behind me all the time like I have the last few days?
Yes.
Since LA?
I mean, when you kill them, it abates for a time. Again, we're a network. The editor are the lucky few that have survived or not gone insane, that no longer feel that urge. Instead, we have an urge to find heralds, bring them into the fold, and create new authors, such as yourself. The card in your pocket belongs to another editor.
The one that Preston told me about. So you guys, you and this, he pulls out the card and looks at it. Mr. Wheat are co-workers or something.
Same job, different companies. Same job, different methods. What I'm going to offer you, Mr. McCoy, is true power. True power comes with limits.
What kind of limits are we talking about here?
Let's discuss that further later. But just know that no exchange comes without payment. And again, I can give you the ability to hunt and kill these monsters like no one else can.
Alright, I'll be honest with you, this all sounds pretty crazy, but it's been a crazy couple of days. I know there's something out there that's not right. I saw it with my own eyes. And you're saying that maybe you got some answers. Maybe you got a way for me to deal with this this type of crazy. I get it, and I'll talk to you. I'll figure it out with you.
Wonderful. I love your go-getter attitude. At that point, you guys start to wind your way through a graveyard, a very old graveyard that seems almost abandoned. There's no houses around it or anything. It has been a long time since anybody has really tended to this graveyard. But you get all the way to the back to a mausoleum of sorts, just big enough for people to kind of walk into. And then you hear from the front. The rain has stopped, by the way, and we've turned into a much more misty situation as the sun is starting to rise in the east. And basically the big scary Viking stops and goes, "Oh, Miss Chastain, we're here." She goes, "Wonderful." And then waits for him to open the door. Then she gets out and beckons you to follow.
I'll get out. I'll definitely be having like one hand on my. Actually, I would definitely have one hand on my revolver. And I'll look at her. So, what are we doing? Like hunting ghosts or something here?
No, we are not hunting ghosts here. This is a place of sanctuary. We call them libraries. They are places where we can store the weapons that we use. As you guys walk into the mausoleum, she does the old school pull on a candle. A kind of like a trapdoor opens. She takes you down some stairs, some winding spiral stairs, down deeper and deeper and deeper. She grabs a torch off the wall and hits kind of like this open crevasse that's about head level. Like almost like a canal in the wall, and it lights like almost like a natural methane gas thing all the way down, like a line of fire all the way down the wall. You guys walk down these stairs, and then you end up in this kind of like large open area that's about 15 feet high and about 20 feet wide. On either corner, you see all these like weird kind of containers containing red liquid that you know to be blood. And then in the center of the room, you see a chair.
Miss Chastain, ma'am, this is making me awfully nervous here.
She turns around and she goes, well, this is the crossroads for you, Mr. McCoy. This is where you decide exactly where you're willing to go. Because I'm going to explain how we fight these stalkers. You see, there have been powerful authors throughout the years. Very powerful indeed. These authors have donated their blood to the cause. That blood perpetuates further authors by mixing your blood with 18th century authors of great fame. You will gain powers to hunt and kill these creatures. But you have to be willing to take that leap. You have to be willing to sit in this chair. Let me read you and figure out exactly what author is the best for you.
And this will give me some kind of power to fight demon cars and magic and all the evil out there.
Yes. You see they use torches. Abilities that come with the authors. Authors who have hunted these beasts for eons have refined their blood to the point where they can almost break the reality just like the stalkers can. Once you have...
And how much is...
Go ahead.
How much does this cost me? What's the price for all this?
What's the price for this? You've already paid the price, Mr. McCoy. You're already down the rabbit hole. I just am giving you means to survive it. But again, you have to make your decision fast.
He's going to go over and sit down in the chair and says, I need to do something. I know what I saw, and it's burning me up inside.
Wonderful. Ivar walks over. The big guy walks over. He's on you like smooth and fast before you can do anything about it. There is a strap around your wrist to the chair, and then a strap around your other wrist to the chair. And he goes, "Don't worry, won't make them too tight for you." And then he steps back and smiles. He's like, "I love watching. It's my favorite part." And then you see Chastain walk around. She's taken off her sport coat, just revealing the kind of like white cotton blouse under it, and she's rolling up her... She hands the coat to Ivar, and she goes, "Ivar, don't be crude." He's like, "Sorry, Miss Chastain, just being honest." She then unbuttons the sleeves and rolls up her sleeves, and she looks back at you and smiles and goes, "You look like a Vern." At that point, we switch back over to Elliot Craig. Elliot, you have Chinese with Jimmy Pizzas. Kind of...
That's a sentence.
That is, right? Jimmy Pizzas who hate pizzas. Jimmy Pizza talks basically the entire time you guys are eating. You hear almost none of his words. You're kind of like lost in this like, fuck, I gotta kill these things for the rest of my life sort of thought process. Like, it was explained to you, but the gravity of it never really hit you until now. Like, you were in it to kill the car, and the car's dead, but you can't get out, sort of thing. Finally, the meal's done. You guys pay. You go your separate ways. And as you come out of the Chinese place across the street, you see Charles Wheat's large limo across the road, door open, waiting for you.
All right, Jimmy. Just, keep an eye on things around here. I will be back. I don't think it's gonna be too long. It wasn't super long the last time. It's fine. I'll be back in like a week or something.
Hey, no problem, boss. I got a cousin. He's got a buddy who's got a quinceañera. I'll find something to do. And then he just turns and walks away with that very confusing statement hanging in the air in front of you.
Buddy even has a quinceañera.
Right?
I honestly thought you were gonna all go like, "I'll go see my cousin, Vinny. My cousin Vinny."
Vinny Chinese food. He hates Chinese food. He only eats pizza. Everybody in our family is named after food. It's weird. All right. So you get in the car.
Reluctantly, yes. He kind of takes like a deep breath. Like, oh shit, here we go again, and just gets in the car.
All right, you get in the car. It's raining hard, like fog coming down as the door shuts, and he hits the back seat, and the driver kind of almost peels out as you guys head off. And he's like, "Thank you so much, Mr. Craig. I owe you dearly for your help here."
All right, so what exactly are we doing?
There are some things that you and your group don't know about the Ordo Scriptorium and some of its fringe groups. And these fringe groups may have gotten their clutches into a potential herald.
Fringe groups.
So, you are aware of the process of the author's blood being transferred to you. It gives you the torches. It gives you the abilities to fight the stalkers that you have fought so far, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Those all come from the original tomes. The tomes of the original authors, the original 6. That's what we refer to them as. All Ordo Scriptorium come from those authors, and we perpetuate their blood with our blood. However, there are some authors that attempted to experiment with newer authors that had not been so refined. These authors, their bloods, this 6 collection of blood, we're not the only authors to donate. It's just other authors, some of their bloods came with more side effects, dangerous side effects that could drive the people who took the blood even madder than the ones that we have.
Wow, yeah, that's super weird. Do you guys have any of the like that fancy alcohol like was in the last limo that I was in? I only got through half of that because of that. So yeah, if we could get some of that somewhere, I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. Oh yeah. Blood mix, people, stories, things. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He pours you some bourbon and hands it to you. He goes, "I'm not going to give you any more. I want your head to be at least minorly clear in case there is combat. That is one of the reasons I am bringing you." And that kind of blows your mind because this would be potential combat with other authors. Is that's what he's saying to you right now?
So I am your protection from dudes? Didn't you fight monsters and stuff too? Like,
yes, I did.
It's so why What if some dudes got on you?
There is a reason I do not accompany you on hunts, Mr. Craig. Editors lose their powers after a certain amount of time. After we have been around so long and perpetuated the bloodline by giving our blood back, we lose our abilities. However, there is a certain need that remains. That need is we can feel the presence of new heralds when they are created. Heralds being those who have seen beyond the curtain but have not been indoctrinated into the Ordo Scriptorium yet. And it is our job to shepherd them and try to keep them alive the best way we know how, by training them how to use their abilities.
So you're implying that there's good ones of us and bad ones of us?
I would not say that the users of the Forbidden Tome are necessarily bad ones. It is not a black and white situation. They are misguided. Misguided practitioners of a forbidden art that is extremely dangerous to them and everybody around them. They still serve the same purpose in many ways. They still hunt and kill the stalkers. They still fight them. They still believe that they are doing exactly what we are doing. The problem is that their authors tend to create more madness, and authors who become completely mad become stalkers themselves.
Yeah, I remember that part of the training. So we are going to just kind of try and stop somebody from going the other way, so to speak, or
yes, it has become known to me by my sources that a editor of the Forbidden Tomes, a woman, he sighs very heavily, a woman named Chastain. She is a true believer in the Forbidden Tomes and the powers they hold. And this is not the first time she has snaked one of my heralds out from under me.
So you are familiar. Okay. So what should we expect?
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully she will be reasonable and she will give him back to us so that we can put him on the correct path, especially since he is one. And you can see that for this moment, Charles Wheat gets a little sad. Give me an awareness perception check. And the difficulty is only 5, because I know you're not great at that.
No. Feelings don't feel. I did roll a 10.
We're going to get some feelings out of Elliot. Don't worry. You're not the most empathetic guy, but you notice that Charles Wheat has guilt for Preston. Like, he sends you guys out there, and Preston is dead. And there's something about this guy that he's trying to kind of get redemption on. He goes, this particular herald, we can't lose him.
That sounds somewhat foreboding. Is that something that you... Is there a reason why it's specifically him, or is it...
It's Richie McCoy. I know that name does not necessarily ring true to you, but he was your driver. He was Preston's driver through many of his ordeals.
Oh, he just... Where's the guy?
I'm sorry, say that again. You cut out for a second.
He just vaguely remembers the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the driver. I get it.
Yeah.
But you could tell that, like, Charles is kind of attached to this. Almost like this guy is connected to Preston. We've got to save this one, sort of thing.
Well, and he, like, kind of slides from one end of the limo to, like, literally right next to him. Just kind of pats him on the back. Don't worry, Wheaties. We'll get him.
Oh my God! Never stop calling him Wheaties. All right, okay, all right. That made everything to me. That made my entire day right there. Thank you, sir.
You better notate that.
Yes, Wheaties.
Wheaties.
He's like, wonderful. All right, so you guys speed along into your perceived futures. We're gonna cut to Rex. Rex, yeah, you're still there. What do you do first?
Just give a quick glance to the list that I was given,
Okay.
and then look at the clock. What time is it?
It's probably like 8:30 at this point. You're the person didn't you have like a person, like either a housekeeper or a maid or somebody who would take care of Anne while you were out?
My front desk lady.
Front desk lady. Okay, so she would be upstairs with Anne right now. Yeah, so she's taking care of Anne right now, but yeah, they're probably just now getting up.
It's fine. She can make her breakfast. Just look over the list.
Okay.
Try and mentally remember things.
Okay, there's obviously a list of where the cocaine is, how to get to it, that sort of thing. But there's a surprisingly
I
large.
can stay there.
There's a surprisingly large amount of funds that have been cashed out by the lawyer. Basically, what has happened was Preston actually would kind of embezzle money from his own family. He would take some of his money from his mother, and he'd spend a lot of it on cocaine so that his mom thought he was just spending it on cocaine. But he would also like buy shares in prominent companies and then cash those shares out and put them in offshore accounts. So he was basically like laundering his mother's money away from her and embezzling it to himself, so to speak. So there is
And he's using Coke as the cover.
Goddamn right he is. Preston Thaddeus Howlett forever, baby. Just so that everybody knows, before I even came up with this plot line, I made roles for Preston for this after his death and everything. But when I was going to do this, I wanted to make roles, but he has such a good merchant role and stuff that, yes, he nailed it. So he pulled this off. Statistically correct. Yes. So yes, Preston was using Coke to secretly mask stealing money from his mother and hiding it away. It's legitimate now, obviously, because it's been laundered. But that money he's putting it into certain people. That being said, there's a good amount of money to be shelled out. He basically lists the things that he wants you to do with this cash. That is as follows. First and foremost, he has put aside $50,000 for Anne's college.
Wow.
He has purchased a house for Bonnie, not that far from where she lives. Kind of the suburbs of where she is, and then for Elliot, he has also like put aside money to be used to give to him, but he gives special instructions on how to give it to Elliot without Elliot realizing he's getting it from Preston or anybody else, because he knows that Elliot won't take it.
Okay.
But the one about Anne really gets you, because it's like he even like expressly says like, I have taken care of the thing that is most important to you because you were important to me, and that is Anne. She will have a college education. So yeah. And the minute you read that, you just flash back to shooting him in the chest and watching him die.
Yeah, speaking of that, I'm gonna walk over to the shelf. I'm gonna grab a bottle of bourbon at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm going to sit it down at my desk and pour me a glass. And get to making phone calls.
Have you named your front desk lady yet?
Gloria.
Oh. Has anybody done a voice? Has anybody done a voice for her yet? Great. All right. So you take the drink, and then you just hear, so let me get this straight. You're down here drinking bourbon? You're drinking bourbon at what is it? It's 8:30, 8:29 in the morning while I'm making Anne eggs upstairs. And you better keep your voice down when you talk to me, because she'll hear it. She'll come in here, and I don't want any of that.
All right. You upset? That's understandable, all right? It looks real bad.
You smell like you fucked a pig, and then that pig fucked you. What happened to you?
Work got real stressful, real heavy, and I was on a real late flight in. Alright, so not really in the mood to be dealing with this right now. I appreciate that you take care of Anne so much for me, and believe me, I know that you get paid for it because I signed the checks.
You're goddamn right you do. And when you don't, I forge your signature and I sign them myself. And you better still appreciate it, because you can't possibly pay me enough. And then you hear from behind you, Daddy, what's fuck mean? And then Glory handles it. She just turns around and goes, oh, honey, that's nothing. That's when an angel gets his wings. But don't ever say anything about it because it's blasphemous. Let's go upstairs, eat some more of that bacon. And then she turns back around. She goes, get yourself clean. You smell too bad to be hanging out with your daughter because she's a freaking angel. And then she walks out with your daughter.
Oh my God.
She is an angel. And then I'm going to down the bourbon and then go take a shower.
Okay, all right. You put down the bourbon, you take a shower, you're still kind of like entranced by guilt whatsoever, but you're going to make calls. What are you going to do calls-wise after you take a shower?
First call is probably going to be the most pleasant, and I would call Bonnie because I am not in the mood to deal with Preston's family right now.
Okay. Bonnie does not answer. She is not home.
All right, well then I will call the first person on the list that it tells me to.
Okay. It would be Mrs. Howlett. Well, it would actually be Marcus Kale.
Well, I already talked to him.
You did talk to him, but remember you got to call him to set up any appointments with the Howletts.
Right. So I would call him.
I mean, he probably assumed you would handle the Elliot Craig, Bonnie, yourself, that situation first.
Yeah.
You call him, he answers, he's back in his office by now, and he just goes, by the time you're out of your shower, and he goes, Mr. Johnson, I'm assuming you are calling to set up interviews with the rest of the Howlett family?
Yeah, I was going to talk to Mrs. Howlett first. She seems to be first on the list.
Mrs. Howlett. Wonderful. Yes, she has some time free if you would like to drive up to her estate around lunchtime. And then, if you don't mind, their brothers are in organizing the funeral, so I can schedule some appointments right there and we can get that all taken care of.
We can definitely do that. Can we try to schedule them separately? Because they, if anything like Preston, they're going to be a lot to handle all at once.
Oh, they're nothing like Preston.
All right, well then we can handle them.
But I will still schedule them separately, but they are nothing like Preston. Like I said, Preston was very generous. I had a fondness for him. He was a mess and hard to deal with. They are not.
Sounds good. All right.
In fact, if anything, you're going to have a hard time getting the things out of them that you need.
Sounds good. All right. I will definitely mentally prepare myself on the drive up. You go ahead and set that stuff up for me. I'll get on the road here soon.
All right. Okay. We're going to switch off to Bonnie, and then I think we are going to have to do one more session of this at some point in the future if everybody's okay with that, because we're almost at 10. But it's not too much more than this, so, well, I don't know. Maybe we can get it done. We'll see. Bonnie. All right, so where do you guys go? You and Frankie.
Well, it's after midnight, so just back to my apartment.
Okay. He seems awkward. I mean, it's the 50s, so he seems awkward about coming back to your apartment.
Where else am I going to go with guy like, that people think is dead?
And he's kind of like looking at the apartment, and he's like, I really shouldn't stay here, because if I stay here, they're going to know. I mean, I'm putting you in danger if I'm staying here. That's why I didn't want to stay here in the first place. And your connection to me, it might set him off.
And where else are you going to go and get help at 12:30 at night?
I've got places to hide. I've been hiding for a while.
You clearly need my help.
I do.
Or else you wouldn't have left a foreboding note on my door.
I do need your help. But you said you knew somebody who could help me.
Okay, I will try to reach them, but I can't guarantee at this hour that we're gonna hear anything.
All right. Oh, I guess I can crash on your couch for one night, right?
Yes,
right.
That's fine. So should I go to my room and get an extra pillow and blanket and start making up my couch?
Give me an awareness perception check.
20.
All right, that's amazing. Yeah, take a momentum, and you're making up the bed, and then you notice that he's kind of like he's doing it very nonchalantly, like not like out in the open, but he's looking at all the stuff that you were looking at, like the books about guns, the firearms, and then he's reading the poem that Preston wrote you. Like he's just kind of like looking at your stuff. He's very curious.
I try as casually as possible to like go over and close my books and gather them.
He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. This is a lot of stuff about a lot of things that hurt people. I guess that makes sense now, because that's what you do, right?
I don't hurt people.
Oh, I'm sorry. The monsters.
Which, yeah, a lot has changed since what happened to you.
He kind of laughs it off. He's like, yeah, a lot has changed. I've been living in constant fear since then. So I'm sorry. I'm letting my paranoia get the better of me. Thank you for everything you're doing. And then he points at the poem. He's like, who wrote you that?
A friend of mine that I just lost.
Oh, was it Preston Howlett?
You know about him?
Yeah, he's a poet. I mean, he hasn't written anything in a long time, but I mean, I used to travel in some circles, you know, every once in a while I'd hear a Preston Howlett poem. I'm glad to see he's writing again. You know the guy?
Immediately, tears spring in her eyes.
He looks, you can see him like, oh, Bonnie, I'm so sorry. What happened? I didn't mean to. Did I say something wrong?
You haven't heard, then?
I've been hiding. I'm in hiding. I only hear things about my situation.
He just died recently.
Oh my God. And you knew him?
We worked together.
He touches your shoulder lightly and just goes, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you okay? How are you dealing with this?
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. You know, I know it's late at night, but I think I'm gonna try to get a hold of my connection for you, actually, just on the off chance maybe they're also up. And I immediately go over to the phone that my parents bought for me.
First time Bonnie's had a man over, not quite going the way that you wanted it. Okay, you called Charles. He is not available currently because he is speeding to Westchester with Mr. Craig to fight other authors.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess that was worth a shot, but I check the locks on my door, and then I'm still very awkward about all of this. So I think I'm gonna go to bed. If you need anything, there's food in the kitchen. You can help yourself.
You see his eyes kind of almost like they're putting something together, and then he goes, "Wait a second. Did he hunt monsters with you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. That's got to be the worst. I understand. Get your sleep. Thanks for the couch.
I immediately go to my room and I put a door under the doorknob.
A door under the doorknob?
A chair under the doorknob. It is 10 o'clock, okay?
I put a door and then another door there. All right.
Bonnie's tired.
All right. We're going to cut it there. I think we can do one more session of this that's small, and that'll give us 2 episodes out of it. And I think everybody's tired. We're doing an hour and a half, and I think that this has been a lot of fun. We'll leave off with Craig and Wheaties speeding up the road towards the graveyard, and we just see Richie McCoy strapped onto a chair as Chastain steps in over him with a large syringe of blood and just goes, "This is going to hurt." And then she puts like one of those like biter sticks in his mouth, and then just like rears back with the syringe, and that's what will be to be continued. So I hope everybody's having fun because I know I did. All right. So that's it for tonight. We're gonna do one more of these in between session things to kind of set some stuff up. We've got to figure out Rex's mystery. Elliot's got to potentially fight a Viking, and Richie's got to survive whatever's going on, and Bonnie has to solve the mystery of Frankie. So, with that done, obviously it is the contractually obligated podcaster chance to plug. Kayla, would you like to plug anything?
No. You could just find me here.
We are going to play Baldur's Gate 3 together. Kayla, me, and Neil.
I'm ready.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this. We're going to do that. Everybody wait. It's happening. I promise you that. Ash.
Plug. Wizard's Respite, as always, all of these episodes can be found there. It is a website dedicated to all things CTRPG. These episodes, along with the Wizard's Respite Sanctorum, where Zach and I deep dive into all things CTRPG. And check it out. If this is your jam, you'll definitely like that website.
Corey.
Howlett Family Funeral and Will Services.
Oh man. You know that the minute he gave me the reins, I'm like, I'm gonna make him pay for this. His character's gonna pay for this. Neil, what would you like to plug, my friend?
Outside of this, I do the Horrible Gaming Podcast with Zach, and I mean, as it kind of sounds right now, because we're in the summertime, we have a little bit more free availability with some schedules here and there, so things in the pipeline, things to come, things that we've already talked about, and of course, you know, we do the podcast and this here too.
And if it's not out already, Baldur's Gate 3, me, Neil, and Kayla. I cannot wait to play that, the three of us. And me and Neil have already agreed that when Marvel's Cosmic Invasion comes out, Streets of Retro returns. We're going to play that one together. So, all right, for me, check out everything Old Man Gaming has to offer. If it's a TTRPG thing, go to wizardsrespite.com. Give us both the view, because we do all of that in partnership with Wiz. But if you're looking for some video games, we do the Horrible Gaming Podcast. I also do reviews there, previews there, and I have Old Man General Manager where me and Jeremy inappropriately say things to each other while we book stuff in 2K25. So that's all available on the channel. Please enjoy that. And yes, we are in the TTRPG season because it is summer right now, so expect some more of this. You're going to see one more episode of this before we go on a little bit more of an extended break, but since we decided to switch to Game Masters and I had this in my brain, we had to get it out. I wanted Wiz to get a chance to play his new character to set up the group for a new hunt. Hunt Season 3. So, and hopefully at some point in the future we have Astral Drive and maybe a couple of new games in the pipeline. We'll see. Other than that, you guys can check us out on, well, you can check out Wizard on wizardrespite.com. You can check out us on Blue Sky, Axiom Games LLC / Old Man Gaming. I don't really do Facebook and Twitter that much because they're trash fires, but if you have to, you can find us there as well. And then, as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making. We'll see you guys next time.